Well, the month of February was what we were looking at in terms of the auto sales figures. Given the fact that there were multiple issues highlighted by OEMs, the original equipment manufacturers, given the fact that they were having a little bit of an issue in terms of supply chain, semiconductor shortages, a lot of these issues were something that they were flagging off. Even higher input costs, higher raw material prices, all of this were being flagged off. The companies did say that especially in particular segments, demand was quite strong, but they were unable to keep up with the supply due to all of the factors mentioned above. Now, when you're talking about a few trends, passenger vehicle trends was expected to be quite strong. But however, when you're talking about the two-wheeler space, an interesting trend did come about where the entry-level two-wheeler segment is expected to have done quite weak, especially when compared to the premium level segment. Now, let's have a look at the numbers that have come so far and how is it that companies have performed in terms of the ET Now poll or versus the ET Now poll. Maruti beat the ET Now poll by 8%, showing figures of close to 1.5 lakh units for the month of February. Mahindra & Mahindra Auto was quite weak in terms of comparing it with the ET Now estimates, 28,780 units approximately for the auto segment, and a 16% miss versus our poll, while the farm or the tractor utility segment or the tractor segment coming in close to 27,170 units, almost 11% miss versus the ET Now poll or the poll of analysts that we had interviewed earlier were penciling in going into the month of February. Escorts managed to beat this number by a handsome margin, and it is very interesting to note the kind of divergence that you're seeing between the growth of Escorts and the Mahindra & Mahindra tractor facility. Mahindra & Mahindra seems to be a miss. Escorts seems to have been a little bit of a beat when you're comparing it against the poll. It'll be interesting to see how market share trends have come across, especially in this particular segment. When you're talking about Tata Motors, again, pretty much in line, the PV or the passenger vehicle segment 27,225 units, the commercial vehicle segment 33,970 units, a slight 8% miss. Eicher, the commercial vehicle segment, in line with what the poll was anticipating, close to the 5,450 mark in terms of units. And when you're talking about Ashok Leyland, slight miss, a 2% miss. The number for the number of units sold came in at close to 13,703 versus an ET Now poll that was anticipating close to 13,970. TVS Motors within the two-wheeler space has been a very strong outperformer. A 5% beat, 2.97 lakh units is what they have managed to deliver versus an ET Now poll of 2.8 lakh units. Bajaj Auto, on the other hand, pretty weak comparing it to the poll. 3.75 lakh units versus 4.08 is what we were anticipating. So overall, the trends that were anticipated have broadly been in line. Clear outperformers being Maruti as well as TVS Motor, while even an Escorts for that matter, while Mahindra & Mahindra and Bajaj Auto seem to have missed the analyst estimates.